Hello family! Today we are going to make handmade aloe soaps. This particular recipe will be made with aloe leaves and also with calendula oil. If you lack calendula oil, olive or almond oil can be used as substitutes. Or you can skip the oil and just make them with the aloe leaves. I want to tell you that aloe is excellent for regenerating the skin, for absorbing excess oil, and it's great for acne or pimples. Also for people who have redness on their skin, it detoxifies, moisturizes, and protects the skin from free radicals with its antioxidant properties. And as many know, aloe is also antibacterial, antiseptic, and anti-inflammatory. On the other hand, if we use calendula oil in addition to all the properties I already mentioned, we can add that calendula is antifungal, meaning it eliminates fungi or helps in their elimination. So I thought it was a fantastic option to make. And look at these little soaps. They're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. They're just gorgeous to give as gifts. We can also wrap them up, add a lovely dedication, and have a wonderful gift to give as well. This is the Aloe saponaria, which now has brown spines, but that's because it went through some frosts before we could bring it into the greenhouse. But actually, its spines are green. It also has a lot of little spots, and it's thick, fleshy, really fleshy. When we go to harvest aloe leaves, for example, we take them from the bottom. In this instance, the bottom ones are extremely thin and dry. So I'll take the next. We make a small cut right against the stem. And we're going to try to pull it out well from the bottom with a single tug. See, that way the cut comes out nice and clean. This is the way to harvest aloe to make the most of the whole leaf when harvesting the aloe. You have to keep in mind that in the days before, 1 or 2 days before, it shouldn't have rained. They always have to be sunny days. That way the taste, if we're going to eat it, for example, isn't so bitter. It has less aloe. I'll harvest one more leaf. With these 2 stalks, that's enough for the recipe. I'm going to show you the aloe leaves up close so you can see what the cut looks like when we do it like this, that way. We're going to put it like this, upwards. In the fridge, so all the aloe can drain, we leave it in the fridge until tomorrow. Are we going to use them? For this recipe, we're going to use glycerin soap in a bar. I got this one on Mercado Libre, which I thought was really good, a really good option. It has coconut oil. It has liquid vegetable glycerin that's double distilled afterwards. It doesn't contain sodium lauryl sulfate. It doesn't contain parabens. It doesn't contain sulfates, and it doesn't contain animal fats. It has a neutral pH and is fragrance-free. And it's a kind of crystalline formula that it gives. I found it by searching on Mercado Libre for glycerin soap, Crystal Vegetal. This is a 1 kilo bar, and we're going to use half of it. Well, it still has plastic wrap, so I'm going to take it off. But first I'll cut it in half. About there. That's what I'm going to use for this recipe. Half a kilo. We cut it into pieces. The good thing is that this glycerin, which is of excellent quality, a kilo must be around 1,000 and something pesos. Now, I don't remember exactly, but look, this is the size of a soap. I think I cut 2. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here you get about 12, 13. You'll get soaps of the standard commercial size and a good quality soap, so it ends up being a very good price for you. I cut it into small pieces like this so that now when we do the double boiler, it melts faster. I'm going to put this here. We're going to turn on the heat here and start putting it in. This is a pot that I filled about halfway with water, and that's perfect. And is this going to be a double boiler? We're going to leave it for a bit until the water heats up since the water was cold, and then it will start melting very slowly. And the double boiler, helps us control the temperature because the soap can't boil. It can't go over 100 degrees. It has to be hot, but not too much. That's why we use a double boiler. While the water is heating up, we're going to start preparing the aloe gel that we'll need. As you can see, the water is a little green. That's the aloe that has come out. It's ready to use now. We simply take it out from here. We're going to cut it in half. Like this is liquid gold for the skin, for the tissues, for everything. When we have gastritis, when we have some problem in the stomach, we can eat little squares of this. I have several videos on how to make meals with aloe or how to eat it. It's excellent, and not just aloe vera. I've also discussed aloe saponaria several times. It has practically the same characteristics. In fact, saponaria has less aloe. Olein is milder for the skin and for eating, obviously not in excess. Like everything. Let's add a little more for both in case I'm missing some. Anyway, this always comes in handy. I was working with paint and my hands are really rough. This is perfect for me. Well, we'll set this aside for now, for the recipe. Here it's already completely melted. Look, it melts very slowly, but in a little while it's done. While I was working with the aloe, it melted very quickly. We have half a kilo, remember, and now we're going to add the other ingredients. Okay, we're going to add it while it's still hot. First, I'm going to add calendula oil. It could also be, for example, rosehip oil or almond oil. Personally, because of what I told you about the properties of this oil, that's why I'm going to add it to this formula we're preparing. For half a kilo of glycerin soap, I'm going to add a tablespoon of calendula oil. I'm also going to add an essence to give it a scent. I'm going to add rose essence. It has to be rose essential oil, and I'm going to put about 20 drops. How delicious. What an exquisite scent. Alright, now we're going to add the aloe gel that we prepared. If I want, I can blend this so it becomes more liquid. Let's say we can also blend it. And we're going to add 5 tablespoons for half a kilo, right? Do you know what I do with this little bit left over? I add water up to about here and I put in a few teaspoons of coconut sugar. You can use another kind, but I love coconut sugar for this and lemon juice, and it turns into a delicious drink. I've shared it with you in the video about the meals we make with aloe. I'm going to leave it for you at the end of this video. When the final screen comes up, I'll leave the video there so you can go watch it here. We stir. Very well, so it mixes properly. And we're going to add the coloring. You add this little by little. In this case, it's a food coloring. It's liquid, but there is also powder form. So you have to add it little by little to get the color you want. And I added 2 drops. You already get a nice green. Look how pretty, look how nice it turned out. And just like this, it's ready to be poured into the molds while it's still hot and very liquid. And well, that's it, it's ready, so now the only thing left is to put it in the mold. And well, the nicest thing is to give it as a gift, or of course have it available for the family. Something made with your own hands with that special touch you're going to add when you say, well, I want to do it myself. In my case, I wanted an aloe soap with a rose fragrance because I love that scent. And at the same time, I wanted to add some calendula because it's especially good for my skin. I heated it up a little using a double boiler, and now it's liquid again. Now we're going to pour it into the molds. We have We'll leave it in the molds for a few hours before taking it out. With what I had left over, I only had a tiny bit left, but it's about 2 big tablespoons. I put that in any plastic bottle and add a little hot water, shake it well, and leave it overnight. Then I use that soap as liquid soap. Look, this is from some leftovers I made yesterday. And look how good the consistency turns out. This can be perfectly used as liquid soap. You put it in one of those little squeeze bottles and you get a wonderful soap for the bathroom to wash your hands. Liquid soap with a delicious scent. Well, 24 hours have passed. I left them overnight so they could dry well. It's super easy to take them out. Look. What I forgot to tell you is that if, for example, you don't have a silicone mold, you can use any other mold, plastic or metal, and you just put a little oil all around the edges. That way you'll be able to unmold it very easily. Look. How beautiful, how lovely. Here they are finished. I made several batches, totaling 2 half-kilo batches in the end. Here I have a kilo of glycerin and look at how many came out. $12 total. See the yield. 1 kilo of glycerin, plus I still have half a liter of liquid soap left. Spectacular, family. We've reached the end of this video. I don't know what you thought, but I loved making these soaps, making these handmade soaps, and now I'm going to put together some little packages of 3 to give as gifts. They ended up with an exquisite scent, The added essence helps significantly, particularly its properties and most importantly, understanding its contents and what it lacks, which is also really good for us. So look, aren't they beautiful? We already have enough here for about 2 months or so. Hi Noah.
What kind of business are soaps?
I hope you really enjoyed this video and found it useful. This recipe seems to me spectacular. It's very practical and very easy to make in just a little while. In one afternoon, you have a bunch of soaps and the next day they're ready to use. I'm not sure if I told you in the video, but before you start using them, you absolutely have to wait 24 hours. Maybe you can unmold them in 2 or 3 hours, but to use them, to let them set properly, it's better to wait 24 hours. I invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, and I also invite you to our Facebook and Instagram channels. And I also want to invite you to the new channel I opened just recently called Portal Coherencia, where we are sharing deep work and intense journey into the depths of being. I'll leave the link in the video description so you can go directly to check out the new channel. And I'll also leave some videos at the end of this video so you can get to know the new project. Oh, anyway, we're going to continue with Soya Hora. For all those who ask us if we're going to stop, no, not at all. We're going to keep going and with much more strength. We're going to keep sharing recipes. We're going to keep sharing healthy meals. We're going to keep sharing natural cosmetics. And very soon, once we settle in more at the new house, in the new place, of course, we're going to start with the garden videos and with a whole world we have to create because we have to start the garden from scratch. So if you feel like it, you'll also join us there. A big kiss, a warm hug, and see you next time. Bye.